Hello everyone, my name is Rydon and welcome back to Rydon Hobbies. We are now recording part 2 of my commanders from my commander cube. And we're going to be starting right off with my 3-colored commanders. We went through all of the monocolor and dual color commanders last time. So we're going to get straight into it. And we're going to start with Esper. We've got Sen triplets, Chromium the Mutable, and Urtai the Corrupted. This is really where stealing things comes into play as much as possible. Urtai and Sen triplets let you counter and play cards out of your opponent's hands, give you some very strong control edge. Very excited to see them. Chromium the Mutable. To be honest, I just couldn't find a third commander in this color set that I liked. But it does have the ability to make itself hexproof and unblockable, and sometimes that can be splashy. In addition, it can't be countered and it has flash. So sometimes just drawing a 7/7 flyer on the fly is pretty good. If you're in this color set, Chromium's not a bad choice. But I would, if I had to just pick one, I'd rather go with Urtai or Sen triplets. Up next, we have Abzan, and we've got Biollante, plant beast form, Gov, Guru of Spores, and Kethis, the Hidden Hand. These are just kind of fun cards. Kethis lets you replay legendaries, lots of recursion, and it makes them one less to cast. So if you wind up, just picking a lot of stuff out, then Kethis lets you play a lot of the legendary cards you have. So if you wind up getting a lot of legendaries in this color set, maybe Captain Sasuke, Kethis is very good. Gov Guru of Spores is the best 1/1 counter commander, probably in general, and I do have a lot of 1/1 counter cards in this cube, so Gov is just a great choice in general. Biollante, plant beast form, which we all know is just Nethroi Apex of Death. The mutate effect on here is basically living it. Like, if there's very few cards in this cube and in general that you can't get with Biollante's effect. Biollante is one of my favorite kaiju. Godzilla vs. Biollante was, for a very long time, my brother and my favorite Godzilla movie. Nowadays, I'd say it's either GMK, Shin Godzilla, or probably Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, the Heisei era Mechagodzilla movie, and Terror of Mechagodzilla. I like the Mechagodzilla movies, what can I say? But Godzilla vs. Biollante is still a great one. All of the Heisei era Godzilla movies are very good. If you're even remotely interested in tokusatsu or kaiju, I highly recommend watching it. Next here, we have... Up next, we have our Grixis commanders. So we have nickelbolas, the classic nickelbolas. This is the time-shifted one, but that's okay. Marchesa, the Black Rose, just giving your stuff dethroned. And Thraxamundar. Thraxamundar is just a fun card. You swing, you go wild, and you just have fun. Thraxamundar is one of those cards that just makes it's a feel good. It's a feel good. Like, obviously the sacrificing creature isn't there, but it's good, honest work in a dishonest color set. Marchesa giving all of your stuff dethroned kind of makes it so that you can do whatever you want with her. You can keep playing a bunch of creatures and then just swing at whoever has the highest life and then just keep getting value. As long as you keep getting 1/1 counters on your stuff, you can keep doing whatever you like. And I'm sure Marchesa won't be back in any form for the rest of this video. And then nickelbolas, he's... To be honest, I just put him in for the flavor win. No one's ever going to let you hit with him. He's an 8-drop with basically a 3 mana upkeep cost. So he basically costs 11 mana for 7/7 flying. Yeah, if you hit with him, that player is dead, but like the rest of the table will kill you. So he's just here for fun. Just here for fun. Up next, we have our jetsky commanders. So we've got Rodan, Titan of the Winged Fury, Narset, Enlightened Master, and Kaikar, Wind's Fury. You could probably guess from all three of these, we are going for instants and sorceries matters, or at least non-creature spells with these two. There's not too many like planeswalkers and things like that, so it's more or less instants or sorceries. I chose intentionally not to use planeswalkers in this deck, in this cube. Again, with the, I think the Women's Day Secret Lair is easily the one that has curled the most out of mine. But here they are. Rodan's Mutate is a Snapcaster. Kaikar gives you a bunch of tokens and that let you trade them in for mana if you're playing lots of non-creature spells. And Narset is another fun, family-friendly card that everyone loves to play with. I don't think there's a single person in the world who doesn't like to play Narset. Alright, up next, we have our Timur. We've got Mausoleum Wanderer, Surak Dragonclaw, and Gadora, King of the Cosmos. Maelstrom Wanderer is great. Double Cascade, and giving your creatures haste. Card lets you go off the rails pretty quickly. If you haven't checked out the Commander's Quarters Maelstrom Wanderer video, it's great. His Maelstrom Wanderer deck is one of the best. I do highly recommend checking it out. Surak Dragonclaw can't be countered. Creature spells you control can't be countered. Other creatures you control have trample. I cannot tell you the number of times I have lost to this card. Like, low-key overpowered. This card is so good. He just lets you drop things in, and sometimes those things are combo pieces, and you can't stop them anymore because your stuff can't be countered while he's in play. You just drop them at the end of your turn, at the end of your opponent's turn, and then your turn, you're good to go. Gadora, King of the Cosmos, yet another broken mutate effect. When I've played this guy, I've actually built like instants and sorcery decks with just like one big creature, so that I just mutate and then get whatever other permanent I have and have a big flat splashy card. Really good. Another dinosaur, it's relevant. Obviously he's just Luna, Apex of Wishes, but here he's Gadora, King of the Cosmos. I was lucky enough to pull foil. Really good card. Definitely love it. Just good kaiju. Anyone who's watched any of the Godzilla movies will tell you that Ghidorah, classic kaiju. Up next we have Jund. So we've got Corvold, Fakehurst King, Jarrus, Waker of Corpses, and Vivictus Asmati. Vivictus Asmati is pure chaos. You just do whatever you want. Each player sacrifices a permanent, and then they get to put something else in. You basically chaos warp one thing on every player's board, including your own. So you can excuse me. You can go for some very crazy effects with Vivictus Asmati. Typically, if you play him, you really hope you don't hit a land. Jarrus, Waker of Corpses, load stuff up with 1/1 counters, and then you can create tokens of things right out of your graveyard. I don't like that it exiles both the creature in your graveyard and the token. I don't like that it's impermanent, but he does he does let you do some pretty fun and splashy things, especially if you have no other recursion. You might as well do it. Corvold, Fakehurst King, strong card. People who play Brawl know how good Corvold is right now. And he just lets you sacrifice permanents, get 1/1 counters, and draw cards. He gets very big. He lets you draw a bunch of cards. He's just a solid commander. Up next, we have what was Bug way back when I first built my first commander deck for it, and is now Sultai. We've got Damia, very first control commander I ever built. Like I said, used to be called Bug back in the day. Green, blue, black. If you read it backwards, B-U-G, Bug. But now we just have Sultai for it, nice and easy. She lets you draw a bunch of cards. That's it. But if you're playing a control list, cards in hand is how strong you are. So she wound up being pretty solid for me, and I wanted to keep that spirit alive by keeping her in this cube. We have another mutate card. Broca's Apex of Forever, or Bioquartz Space Godzilla. Now, all he does is let you cast him from your graveyard, but that just means he's a consistent 6/6 body you have, and depending on what other effects you have, if you've got things with flying, or haste, or I don't know, some weird effects. If you wind up going 4 or 5 colors and you throw them on like Gyrus or something, becomes very strong. So, definitely cool. Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla was one of my favorite Godzilla movies as a kid. It didn't age as well as I would like, but it's still cool. And definitely has the better Megara out of the Megara movies. Up next, we have Volrath, the Shape Stealer. Yeah, it just lets you copy things. You just make -1/-1 counters, and then you make him into a copy of whatever you'd like. So if your opponent's got something strong, got an Embercall, you just copy it. Good stuff. Up next, we have our I can't remember the name of this color set. Mardu. We've got our Mardu commanders. We start with Mathis Fiend Seeker. Putting bounties on things kind of makes it fun. Like you make it so that your creatures are, or your opponent's creatures are incentivized for them to kill each other for value, and then you also get the value as well, since it says each opponent, and it kind of helps you make someone else public enemy instead of yourself. So good card for politics there. We have King Caesar, Awoken Titan. Not the craziest mutate card, but if you do wind up building a mutate deck, which I do have a lot of mutate cards in the cube itself, then you can get some value out of dealing 4 damage to creatures or planeswalkers and then gaining 4 life. Not the best individual commander, but it does go into one of the themes of the cube. And like I said, Terror of Mechagodzilla is my favorite Godzilla movie. King Caesar was from the first Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, also very strong. King Caesar song is stuck in my head every time I see this card. Lastly, we have Queen Marchesa. I lied when I said she wasn't going to be back. Here she is. And this time she makes you the monarch. There's no more dethroning things. She is the throne. And she lets you put 1/1 black assassin creatures with death touch and haste onto the battlefield. Anyone who's played Commander against a Marchesa deck knows what Marchesa is trying to do. There's absolutely nothing fooling anyone here. You're just trying to pillow fort and build red, white, black control. Good fun stuff. Definitely a popular card for a good reason. Finally, we get to Naya, where we've got Zakama, Primal Calamity, Garrett, Conclave Exile, and my signed Grimlock Dinobot Leader. It is signed on both sides, in case anyone's curious. So, Zakama is a big dinosaur. It does a million things. You can deal 3 damage, you can gain 3 life, you can destroy target artifact or enchantment, and of course it untaps all lands you control when you cast it. So if you've got a way to return it to your hand and keep casting it, you can basically get infinite mana and do whatever you'd like. I have no idea where the head and the back is attached to, by the way. The front two heads are very clearly attached here, but is there a neck on the back? Where is that coming from? Because, like, that neck should be over here, right? So how is its head over here? I've always wondered that. Anyways, Zakama, good card. Grid Conclave Exile lets you create tokens. I have a lot of tokens matters cards. You probably saw that with the Selesnya stuff. And honestly, I've won just making rhinos in matches with this. I've made just big rhinos and populated them over and over again. So, good commander, very fun. Just kind of lets you get value. And then obviously Grimlock, Dinobot Leader, makes dinosaurs, vehicles, and other transformers you gain control get +2/+0, and you can make him into a bigger dude if you transform a transformer you control. I'm actually trying to find a Legion class Grimlock figure to use. All of my Grimlocks are commander class, or leader class, or at least Voyager. So I'm trying to find a smaller one to use, but I might give up and just use my masterpiece, or something else. I do have a G2 Bumblebee currently set with my cube, as well as the Scout class Sea Spray, because Sea Spray is my boy. But right now, just trying to get my hands on something a little bit spicier, so you can have other Transformers to get the +2/+0, since Transformers are a key part of any Magic deck, as you well know. So we're moving right on, and we have our Bant Commanders. We have Derevi, Imperial Tactician. Yet again, another card that is good for making friends. It's banned in Dual Commander, but I have no idea why, and it's a very popular EDH deck. Still don't understand it. Definitely not a broken card in any way. So we're just going to go ahead and move on in. Skipping the commander tax has never been strong. Rune of the Hidden Realm is value the card. You basically get to bounce things every turn, or not bounce, but it's not a flicker, but you get to recur effects. It's not a flicker effect because it's one of the next end step ones. But yeah, lets you recur ETBs and things like that. Very strong effect. Hulain, Teller of Tales. Just a value card. I'm surprised that this card is actually as cheap as it is. He's such a strong value card. He's good in CEDH, he's good in regular EDH. You don't have to build him competitively for him to turn out that way. He's just strong. Honestly, I'm a little worried he's too strong for the cube, but so far he hasn't made any problems. Just a very good card. I know I've been joking about a lot of the OP cards in here, but Hulain is actually so strong that I don't feel like I can joke about it. So those are all our 3-color commanders. We do have a few more commanders left, and those are going to be our 4-color and 1 5-color commander. So we've got Idris, Maelstrom Wanderer, Sasuke the Unyielding from the Secret Lair Women's Day that bends ever so much, Brea, Ethereum Shaper, and Attracta Praetor's Voice, as well as Joda, Archmage Eternal. You'll notice that I don't have Timnus and Curio. I think that's their names. The Soggy Naya, if you would like to call them that. Yeah, I don't have them. I didn't buy that commander deck, and I didn't want to drop the money for a copy of the card. I think they're fun. I love Group Hug. One of my actual commander decks is Feldegriff. But yeah, I didn't want to buy an extra card. And my wife, I'm sure, appreciates that. So instead, I'm using Joda, Archmage Eternal. Just because he's good. He, in 5-color, lets you play anything for value. So, strong card. Atraxa, and this, because I don't have any of the broken things you could do with Atraxa, I don't have Planeswalkers, I don't have Infect cards, I don't have anything like that. Atraxa winds up just being a value card, especially if you're in like a 1/1 counters matter deck. Atraxa is just a good commander. She's amazingly fair if you don't build her broken. Brea Ethereum Shaper is also kind of the same deal. Like, there's not too many artifacts, so there's not too much she can do so that she feels super broken, but she does still come in with value. So she's not like a dead card either. She still lets you do a lot for value. Sasuke the Unyielding is always a good card. You just build aggressive. You point at a player. You tell that player, you're dead. Her face says that player is dead. I know in the original art, she's literally pointing them out, but on this one, you're the player. She's pointing at you. And that's what she's doing. She's about to come at you with that axe. Really cool card. Really cool art. I love this art so much. But it's, again, a shame about the curling on these. The Women's Day ones are really bad. And Idris, I explained why Cascade's good earlier. You just get value. All of your stuff has Cascade. You just build the Idris. You just play the cards, and they play more cards. In the cube itself, I do have a handful of 5-color commanders. I have Godo, Progenitus. I've got Emrakul in there. I've got as a special role from my cube, I let you play any legendary permanent as commander. So I've got or any 5-color legendary permanent as your commander, and I've got Urza Academy Head in there, just so you can have fun and use Urza's effect. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking out my cube. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you've got any suggestions for cards you think I should put in, let me know. But I am pretty happy with the choices I've made so far. I spent a lot of time poring over lists of cards and picking out exactly what I thought was best. Or was splashiest, just because of the way my cube is built. But let me know what you guys think. I will see you guys in the next video, and be sure to live strong and ride on.